Hello friends, this video is about the most common errors in C++. I'm sure it will be really beneficial for all the beginners out here. When we start coding on different platforms, we come up with so many errors that are very silly but yes, most common. We'll discuss such type of errors here. We should always take an array with some extra space than required. The reason for it is then you can be sure about the corner cases. For example, if you are working with character array and you have taken array of size 5 according to the problem, and by looking at this you will think that an array, a string of size 5 can be given to it, like you can give input a b c d e, but when you'll give it, you'll get a runtime error. Why? Because you always need extra space to include null character at the end, thus ending up with runtime error. Secondly, even when we use correct algorithm for a problem, then also sometimes we get TLE. The possible reason is maybe you have not used a faster input output. Printf and scanf are faster than C and Cout. It is said that they are 3 times faster than C and Cout. Thus, if the problem contains a huge data set, then it is better to use printf, scanf instead of C and Cout. But still, if you get a TLE and the problem is again of input-output operation, then you can use a predefined code for faster input-output, which is given on several coding platforms. You can search it on CodeChef discussion forum. Just search for fast input-output. Yeah, next is, it is very important to stick to the format in which you have to submit your solution. Sometimes we completely ignore the format and end up with a wrong answer. Generally, you need to put output of each test case in a separate line. It is very common on CodeChef. You should put endl or /n after each output. And forget this most of the time, believe me. You can understand the requirement by looking at the problem's output explanation part, which are very much specific on different coding platforms. Thus, we cannot say that you should always end your output with /n or something like that. It is completely dependent on the problem as well as on coding platforms. Always look for the constraints given for a variable. Basically, I want to say, read the problem statement carefully. If suppose you have a variable of integer type ranging from 1 to 10 power 9, but while processing, you multiply it with other integer variable also ranging from 1 to 10 power 9. And now consider the extreme case, the maximum case, then x is equals to 10 power 9 and y is equals to again 10 power 9. Now if you multiply both of them for some processing, you will get 10 power 18, but it cannot be accommodated in an integer type variable. So it is better to take long int for storing the product of these two variables. Thus it is very much important to look that you are storing the value in the correct type of variable and the case of overflow is not occurring. There are some error terminologies. When we get such errors, we are not able to figure out that what is the error. So the first is SIGS EGB. It is a very common error which is caused by memory reference or a segmentation fault. You are probably trying to access an array element out of bound. Suppose you have made an array of size 10 and you are trying to access the 11th element, or you are trying to use too much of memory. Suppose you are creating an array of size 10 power 10, then it cannot be the case, thus resulting in SIGS EGB. The next is SIGFP. It is a floating point error. This is mostly caused by a division by zero. So check in your code that is there any case of division by zero? Is there any zero in the denominator? Then surely this will be the cause for error. Always beware from garbage values. Generally, we forget to initialize the variables that we have to give as the output, and we end up with the wrong output result. So like you have the code like this. In spite of initializing it with sum equals to 0, we are getting an error. Why we are getting an error in the output? Not a runtime error or something like that. It is the logical error. What you are doing is you are taking sum equals to 0 and running it for various test cases. Like in our input, we are giving it 2 as the number of test cases, and this is the input. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The second one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. Now if we give this input, we'll have the result as 55 and 110. 55 is correct, but 110 is not. You should get 55 again. Why this is happening? Because we have initialized sum with 0 at the top instead of initializing it after the first for statements. So it will not be initialized with 0 after each test case. Thus, we should change the place of sum equals to 0 in the first for statement. So, initialize with the correct value and at the correct place. Finally, some tips for coding. If you come up with an error, how should you proceed to correct it? Firstly, try to correct your error by yourself instead of asking to others. You learn surely a lot from them. Then, if you're not getting it, then check the list of errors that we have provided in this video. But if you think that there's not such type of mistake in your program and still it is not working, try to dry run your code. Means try to logically execute your code. If you have dry run it properly by taking some extra test cases, then surely you will catch your error. Always work with the corner test cases. And now if you have knocked every door, then you can post it on discussion forums of different platforms. There are many people for helping you, or you can comment it below. I'll surely be there to help you. And if you like this video, then stay tuned for more such videos. We'll discuss more errors, more algorithms. And if you like this video, then please encourage us to keep our good work by your valuable comments. We'll be happy to have feedbacks from you people, whether they are good or bad, doesn't matter. Thank you.